Beyond the stars lie a web of pearls, each gemstone a miniature world unto itself. Upon these worlds interconnected our stories are told, and the fate of creation hangs in the balance. Welcome to the Titan's Gift.
Greetings and welcome to Die Dragon Die presents the Titan's Gift Campaign, episode 15. I'm your DM and host, Marty, joined by Levi, Luke, Neil, and Matt.
How is everyone doing tonight?
What's up?
Yeah.
Is that coming back?
We're making it come back. Was that a beer commercial?
Yeah.
What was it?
Oh, you mean mine? Yeah.
Yeah.
Pick up the phone. What's up?
I was gonna say we could we're dating ourselves a little bit here.
No idea where that came from. Absolutely no idea.
How are you doing tonight, Neil? How was the commute, man?
The commute was the Seattle squeeze in full effect, man. I'm feeling it. It's painful driving at the moment.
The Seattle squeeze. I never heard that one.
Yeah, they've closed the SR99. You know, that viaduct?
Yeah, we got a tunnel. There's a tunnel situation.
Well, yeah, but the tunnel's not open yet. So there's a period where they've closed down the one side of the freeway, and there's no alternative. So what's happening is it feels like all the traffic's just shifting up a little bit. It's not as bad as it could be, I suppose, but still, it adds a good 20 minutes to the travel times.
Sounds fun.
No.
Yeah, fun.
No, it's not.
I mean, we're in a van pool, so it affects us a little bit less, I suppose, but it still affects us.
You're all in it together at that point.
We're all in it together. That's the pretty crappy thing about it, though, is that I can't just decide that I'm going to work from home and avoid the traffic, because then I'm kind of making life harder for the other people in the van pool because they can't go into the bus lane anymore.
Oh. I do it anyways.
Yeah, well, we're not you.
Screw game theory.
Neil wants to work from home with his jams. I bet
How are you doing? How are you doing, Marty? You've been good?
Not too bad, man. I finally recovered from like the 2 death colds I had over December. Feels good today. Feels good,
man.
The reorg at work wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. It's all good.
I'll have everybody know I actually went to Marty's office to say hi, and guess who wasn't there?
Outside because of the reorg. Yep.
Yeah, it just so happens that we were in an offsite at the same day, and my offsite happened to be in his building. So I went to go say hi, and he wasn't there.
He was just avoiding you, man.
Okay, good. I'm going to GaryCon this year. Early March is when that happens. To go and hang out with people in the industry and other fans of Dungeons & Dragons and old school games, and it should be good. So looking forward to that. Got my tickets. Plane is booked. Hotel is booked.
Where did you say it was?
GaryCon is in Lake Geneva.
Sounds exotic.
I'm staying at a resort that apparently has a water park.
Yeah, where is it?
I think it's Lake Geneva, Wisconsin.
Yeah, that's
right?
what I was thinking.
It's not like
Wisconsin.
Lake Geneva, Switzerland.
Yeah, I was gonna say, wait. Is that
Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Although Geneva,
where-
Switzerland could also be in Wisconsin.
where D&D was born, basically.
Wisconsin?
I will bring the first die that I ever rolled. It is about 36 years old, probably. I still own it.
Nice.
Actually, it was given to me by my first DM after he just decided he wasn't going to play anymore or whatever, and moved on. But yeah, I still own the die, so I'll bring it with me and I'll like touch it to, I don't know, something that Gary Gagas touched and blessed it or something.
Be careful, some other kid doesn't beat you up and steal it.
Steal my ancient D20. Give me your die. Nobody wants the crappy D20. They're much better looking D20s than that one.
It's made of lead.
Yeah, it's already giving me lead poisoning. I'm already crazy because of it. Yeah, so that's the news on my front. What's going on with you, Levi?
Not much. Traffic sucks. Working in a
Car wash?
place far up north, and it's a nightmare. So yeah, life's good.
Life is good.
Got really into podcasts due to the Seattle Squeeze.
Yeah. What are you listening to?
A little bit of Joe Rogan. A little bit of this one called Sleep With Me. It's very relaxing.
I've heard of that one. It's not about sex, but they just
Right.
read
That's what I
things
thought. So I was like, all right, let's
quietly.
do this. I'm driving.
So wait, it puts you to sleep and you're driving while listening to this?
Well, it's used for that. And
Okay.
relaxing and not losing your shit on people in the traffic. And
Oh, okay.
Throwing cups of coffee at strangers from your car.
love the city.
Matt, what's going on?
Not too much. I went to a funeral over the weekend and
Oh man.
decided as a result that I probably ought to actually own a suit. I used to own a suit, but then it got eaten by moths. So
Really
I wore a tie. Looked fine. It was a large funeral. Pretty amazing.
Condolences, man.
Yeah, that's about.
Oh yeah, no, it was not. It was someone that my wife worked with.
Okay.
So not a close relative by any means. All the same, yeah.
Hence, it was funeral and immediately moth-eaten suit as opposed to.
I gave the suit away a couple of years ago and just
Okay.
replaced it. So
Got it.
shirt and tie I think works fine, but all the same I gotta have a suit. So I went and got measured,
Ooh.
and gonna have a decent suit.
You're gonna be full on.
Should we do suit night next game? Everybody wears suits.
Ugh.
Sit for 8 hours in a suit.
I'd probably have to go and get another suit.
The answer, Marty, is yes, we will, Luke. See you
Yeah.
here.
Neil's just waiting to bust out the suit.
There we go.
Nice.
No, all we have to do is get you to believe that we're doing it.
And then it'll be your costume. It's not a suit night, it's Luke costume. Luke, what's going on, man?
That's true. I just realized I have another costume I haven't worn.
Damn it.
What's the costume today?
Comfort, I guess.
Okay.
Pants with elastic waistbands. Is the
Yeah, pants is novel. This is the first time actually that we've worn pants.
Wait. I thought you were doing a whole like Eminem.
I feel much more comfortable.
See, I don't see anything on this side of the table.
over here.
Oh, wow. Okay.
No,
Remind me never to go over there. Okay.
Okay, trying to quickly organize spells as fast as possible. Yes. D20 is down though.
Yeah,
Excellent.
it's not working with us. Direct links seem to be working for some reason.
Yay, internet.
Well, that's good.
Okay, why don't we do a quick recap of what happened last game? Last game is called How Will I Sleep Tonight?
Oh yeah.
Following their fight with the deadly redcaps, the party retreats to the hut with chicken feet to rest. In the hut, Luudo makes some potions, while the professors Zephyros and Feroesae study a ritual in the familiar grimoire related to the cat with 9 × 9 × 9 lives. After recuperating, the party returns to the Villa Malavella to confront he who waits to eat. Malbut accompanies the party to the manor, too frightened to return to the slough. And you guys defeated the he who waits to eat, as well as a satyr that arrived that sort of marshaled the his fellow fae, the tooth fairies. You had a tremendous fight around the grand stair, and won.
Fireball.
Fireball, yeah. The fireballs dashed Malbut's hopes of grinding the tooth fairy wings into pixie dust.
Levi lost it.
Yeah.
When that happened, Levi.
One of my most favorite moments.
You lost your shit when that went down.
No! So this game is going to be a little bit different. We're going to fold some time, and this is kind of like base builder meets D&D. As you guys have captured Villa Malavella and have decided that, yeah, this is probably a good place to make your home, or at least temporarily so. The day that you raided the Villa Malavella was the 56th day of spring. The 57th day of spring, the party defeats He Awaits to Eat. On the 58th, renovations of Villa Malavella begins. It'll take you about a month with how much money you guys decided to spend. And Zephyros, I put a date down for your registration. That's the 90th of spring, on the last day of spring.
Okay.
Given that there are no real months in this calendar, there's like basically seasons are the months. We'll say that you have until the end of spring. So that gives you basically, after renovations complete, if they go on to schedule, 2 days to go and register.
Gee, that's a big buffer.
It's a couple of hours walk across town.
Yeah, I'm just adding it to your little joke work saying if it's all on schedule.
Yes. Yeah. All right. So a month worth of renovations. You guys were going to spend, I think, $4,000 on your renovations. I think we should open up a sheet that describes some of the facilities that you guys install in Villa Malavella. Feel free to do that in like Gear and Treasure or something like that. Actually, I have one at the top, Villa Malavella renovation. So maybe we can kind of itemize some of these things. I think the first things first is in the early days, there's some cleanup that is done. What are you doing with all the corpses and the bits and pieces of some of the broken construct furniture?
Can we pretend that it's fairy dust?
There are some fairies that were just killed.
I think probably Malbut will try and collect the wings he can. There was at least one or two that died in a previous day in a hallway somewhere.
Okay.
But one of the skeletons I will reanimate that first day after our big ending fight.
What are you trying to animate?
I will cast Animate Skeleton. I will do the medium-sized corpse from...
I'll go ahead and track the stuff in here.
Okay.
From what's his face? The guy who ran
I think there were about 3 dead... You have the wings from 3 dead tooth fairies.
That's not nothing.
That's something.
Yeah? What was his name?
Animate skeleton. Okay. This spell will allow you to animate dead creatures medium size or smaller.
I'm gonna go with
Morphelio's corpse. Morphelio Malavella. Does he look like he would make a good corpse soldier for the endless war?
You mean the body of he who waits to eat?
Yes. Formerly known as Morphelio Malavella.
Right. Give me a second. So I have to read the spell. You do know that he was some sort of creature that ended up becoming a ghoul or a ghast from studying his body. The spell will only animate creatures of medium size or smaller. Okay.
Check.
A mostly intact skeleton or corpse. How did he die?
Oh, fire? No.
How did he
I don't
die?
think Tech struck the killing blow. Tech was down there.
Oh man,
I don't think I got it.
He
Manny
hit him in
did.
the head with the
Yeah.
and he like
Cracked
slumped
his
over
skull open.
and then shit everywhere.
Oh yeah.
What's weird about Animate Skeleton is that it doesn't talk about...
Can you reanimate undead?
That's one question I'm trying to answer, and then the other one is... I don't know how many hit dice this thing has. I think it only has 1 hit die. I think it just becomes a regular old skeleton. Okay, so you've got a creepy-ass skeleton that has eye sockets in weird bones in its hands and no eye sockets in its head. When you cast the spell, the flesh of the creature just simply schleps off, revealing this glistening, very odd, vaguely humanoid skeleton.
I will walk him out the back door to the wall and say, patrol in a circle around here. Don't let anything in.
Okay, so you've got the skeleton of, what was his name again? Sorry, I don't have this in front.
Morphilio Malavella.
Morphilio Malavella skeleton. Okay, and you're putting him in the back area?
I'm going to put him outside the wall. He's just going to walk a circle around the wall.
Around the house.
Outside the wall?
Yeah, there's no way to walk
Inside
a
the
circle
wall.
Inside the wall, is there? There's like a wall in the way when you hit parts of the house. I think I'm gonna walk him outside the wall, which I think would require me going up the front door.
Yep.
With the key. I'll take one of the keys in the form of the necklace thing.
Sure, there's the amulet and the ring are allow you to get by the arcane lock.
Take the ring off of that.
Satyr guy?
Okay. So I'll just put him out there, Morphilio Malavella's skeleton, which you're pretty sure is the skeleton of this strange creature that he slowly turned into, this monstrous humanoid called a Tenome.
Tenome.
This is not a true Tenome skeleton. Like, if you had a more powerful spell, you could actually animate it as a higher hit die skeleton. This spell also has a 50 gold piece component, which you'll need to spend.
Yes, I have that.
Okay.
Now I'll spend it.
What are you doing with the body of the orphan boys and the leftover bits of the other orphan children that were fed to the Tenome?
Can we identify which one we think was the boy that we were looking for?
None of them were.
Yeah, he
We
wasn't
think the
here.
boy we were looking for was taken into Hades through the portal
that's right.
in the hut.
The Zephyros will say asked Luudo to bring the little piece of animate yarn close to any of the bodies, and it didn't seem to react.
I think we should bury these someplace.
Okay.
I think we should treat them well because there's still that haunted room.
Perhaps the garden or the backyard. Outside the wall, maybe put up a stone or statue or carving.
Yes, somewhere where something can grow.
I would agree with outside the yard.
Okay. You want to point?
Nowhere near.
Want a point where you make a little mass grave for the children?
I think maybe individual graves.
Somewhere out here, I would say. I wouldn't
Okay.
do it in the building.
Okay.
Let's zoom in here. Little tiny kid graves, probably that big.
I will also put a weapon on that skeleton.
Okay, you're pretty sure that the remains of 4 separate children, and you do your best to dig little graves for them. And I'll make a note here that these are child graves, unmarked. Because those words should make you nervous. Individually and all together. All right, so I'll delete the child tokens.
What are you doing with? You did something with the Fae. So if there are any dead tooth fairies you come across, just go ahead and delete them.
What did we do with the corpses?
Yeah, the little burned husks of the tooth fairies.
Probably anything not salvageable will feed to Mokrenom to
I
just
think just bury them in the backyard.
more unmarked graves.
Yeah,
This is just a larger pit
X
with
marks
corpses.
the spot, man. X marks the
Let's make
spot.
a pit in the. Actually, let's do it inside the wall for the Fae, like there,
Okay.
like in between the trees. Let's
So
put
this is
the-
a tooth fairy
Mass grave.
fairy mass grave.
Yeah, can we chuck the goat horned man and the boggart in there too? What do you guys think about that?
I may need more skeletons for my studies at some point. Perhaps we could keep a few mediums on hand for a pinch.
You can put them in whatever room you want to be your room and not my room.
Okay.
Do we need to gentle repose them?
No, just the bones are fine, really.
Are you gonna cook the meat away?
We'll want to talk with the Fae probably sometime. There are probably still Fae in the woods.
So the Hadean boggart is small, and the goat-horned man is medium.
You can keep the goat corpse, and we'll put the boggart in the hole with the Fae, with the fairies.
Okay, so I'm just going to change it from tooth fairy mass grave to fairy mass grave.
Yeah.
I think if it's decomposed, it's fine. I could put it in like a bag and bury it so the bones are all in one spot and I could dig them up easy and then just reanimate it, right?
Yeah, there are also spells for this.
Yeah.
Gentle repose.
I need. It would be ideal to have the one where you just strip all the meat and it's just a skeleton. I could keep that in a bag in my room, but I don't have that one, so.
Well, that's a room we're not going to be playing poker in.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna just put them in a bag or a box and bury them.
Okay, so you're gonna actually put the goat-horned man in a box and bury him for safekeeping.
I think he'll just I'll just put him in a grave all to his own. Then once I dig it enough and expose the bones, I can just reanimate him. They'll bust forth.
Where are you putting his grave?
I'll put him in the back. I'll mark it somehow though. Let's just opposite of where we put the tooth fairies. Back where we first snuck in. I'll throw it in there.
Okay.
Yeah, I was also looking
Memories.
So many bodies buried in the yard.
To make it a little bit less likely for them, for the just wandering Fae to stumble upon a grave filled with fairies.
Satyr graved. Brackets. Unmarked.
It's sort of marked. Well, I guess, yeah, unmarked is fine. I know where it's at.
And then there's fairy mass grave. Unmarked.
Yeah.
Okay. And we'll just stick the satyr.
Are there any Fae burial customs that I know of?
I wonder if chaotic evil
Fairies have burial customs. You're pretty sure that you have some. So when these tooth fairies died, all the teeth that they didn't consume or that were fresh in their mouths fell out.
Yep.
So you have bags and bags of teeth. You've got probably 500 teeth. From all those dead fairies.
I know what we have to do with all those tooth.
Right.
We have to keep them to tooth fairies again.
Yes. In fact, let's have a bag of teeth for keeping.
I agree. I think that is a very good idea.
May I give it to Mokrenom?
Yes.
It'll go very nicely with my wooden tooth fairy.
I think that sounds like a good idea.
Okay, well, as long as the teeth are in a bag before giving to Mokrenom, it's pretty easy to store it. He is happy to store it. 500 teeth weighs, I don't know, 3 pounds, something like that. 5 pounds. We'll say 5 pounds worth of teeth, and you mark that on Mokrenom's sheet. Will do. Awesome. Okay, so a burial, and then I guess some of the broken furniture you use as firewood, or maybe pieces to repair other bits of furniture, so I'm just going to delete all of those. I think that takes care of all the corpses. The place is free of corpses. Now, you also learn that this place has 3 inhabitants. I'm saying 3 because it might be 2 and something else. What I need are 2... I need 2 knowledge planes check and a knowledge religion check.
I got knowledge planes. +11.
I have +9, so I can try and roll to see if I aid you.
That'd be good.
Okay, so knowledge planes to see if I aid you.
I'll go ahead and aid you as well on knowledge planes.
Okay, so yes, that is an aid from Zephyros.
And another 2 there. 23.
Gosh darn it, my 28 would have been super nice.
First knowledge plane?
Okay, that was the first knowledge planes. There is a small creature that is bound inside of the furnace, or what would you call this? The stove in the sauna.
Okay.
And it is a fire mephit by the name of Ashwick. He's chatty. He tells you he's stuck in here. He seems pretty resigned to the fact that he's stuck in the stove.
Is there anything we could ease his troubles? Does he have anything he likes, hasn't had in a while? Perhaps coal?
He enjoys burning things.
Maybe that furniture? Burn some of that up for him?
Okay. Professor ends up spending some time in the sauna. Instead of freeing the creature, feeding it bits of furniture. Give me a diplomacy check to see how well...
And just hanging out with him, too. Could I throw a glamour on that and hit myself with the wand of enhanced diplomacy?
Sure.
Cool. Then
His
the
name
wand
is,
gives me +2 and...
Ashwick.
Sorry, I've never cast glamour. I think it gives me +5 on that, so +7 +5 +12. 31.
Okay. Ashwick appreciates the stimulus and the fact that you bring in nice pieces of wood for him to burn. You get the sense that he's pretty cramped in there, but he has fun burning, and he's long since stopped complaining about the crick in his neck.
Nice.
A mephit is like a little imp-like creature made of the element that it's named after. So a fire mephit lives in the stove in the sauna, and then the next knowledge planes.
I mean, I'll give it another shot if... Yep.
It's the same as the previous one?
Yeah.
I aid as well.
32.
After seeing one mephit, you identify another one. This one's name is Puddle, and it is a water mephit that has been bound to the washing basin, or the almost fountain-like basin in the sauna. It's big enough that you could get into the same bathtub size area in the sauna. And Puddle's tasked to help with bathing. Puddle particularly likes helping people bathe their faces.
Is he into anything? He been looking for any vices for Puddle method? Water method?
He's so happy to have new faces to wash.
Nice.
Oh, and I have a pretty big face.
Clearly, you guys can see at the bottom of the tub and inside the scattered coals are weird little circles that you're pretty sure if you broke, they would either be dismissed back to their elemental plane or may even be free on this plane. That you haven't investigated deeply yet. It may take some research to do. But Ashwick and Puddle bicker back and forth like an old married couple.
Nice.
A water and fire mephit in the same room. Water does not mix with fire as far as the elements and the elemental planes go. They are diametrically opposed. But apparently they just kind of bicker for the sake of bickering, while they actually kind of have been locked in this room. You get for you take it that they've been locked in here for perhaps decades or more, and I hear no strong opinions with demanding to free them, so
Oh no.
they're your methods now.
These guys live here.
This is an awesome sauna.
Yeah.
Right.
I have a big face. Lots of bullshit.
So you guys enjoy the sauna. This is such a neutral party. They are the
Ruin the sauna. If you
They
want
are
us
the
to ruin the
Jerks
Is that
sauna.
what you're asking?
That sounds like an evil act to me. Are you sure you're finished?
The bathing room is where there's another thing, and this is what I need a knowledge religion for, and it specifically is around a particular bathtub that some of you start to see every once in a while fill up with blood, or catch a glimpse of the corner eye of a floating woman in the bathtub.
Can I do a psychometry check on the bathtub to see the last memory of this bathtub? I'm guessing somebody died in here.
Okay, give me a will save. A psychometry check and a will save, and then the knowledge religion will be, hey, what happened to the professor?
Okay. Who knows the most about things like this?
I know a little
That I've picked up here and there. But
I've
not a
got
lot.
+9 religion.
Okay, your psychometry check, yes, something bad happened here, and it overwhelms every other imprint on this particular tub. The wife of, what is his name? The wife of Morphilio Malavella.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have her name somewhere?
Morphelia.
Morphilietta?
Marsupilami?
No, you guys are horrible.
Was it the lizard Gobblegut?
Her name is Eileen,
Come on, Eileen. Oh, I swear.
not Eileen. 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 Eileen Morphilio, you could feel the sadness of the loss of her children and quite mad thoughts kind of going through her head. She was very devoted to her husband, but you're pretty sure her husband's turned into a thing, and she was putting up with that.
Oh,
Trying to make it all right because she was convinced that he would get better.
Well,
When she failed at that task and it ate her 2 children, that's when she snapped.
Mm-hmm.
And after raging, you realize that she wandered into this bathtub with some candles and slit her arms open.
Mm-hmm.
Elbow to wrist.
I will like scream uncontrollably for like several moments and then dust myself off.
Well, I need a will save.
Yes. It was 15.
15?
Yes.
Okay. I need everyone to roll a perception check. Did you do this with other people around, or were you just wandered in like, hey, what's going on here?
I think we're probably exploring around
we're
together.
exploring
Okay.
Yeah, because we're
All right, so
talking
you
about
see
stuff.
the professor start taking off his clothes, and he starts pouring himself a bath. You notice that he finds over on a counter
Professor, we have work to do.
a particular engraved Malavellan shaving razor.
Yes, sir. I'll just take a bath and it'll all be better then.
29 on perception.
Yeah, okay. The perception was if you guys were just around the house doing stuff, you'd notice
yeah,
the
yeah.
professor taking a bath. You're all staring at the professor whose only thing he's taking into the bathtub is the shaving knife.
This will feel you fine after a bath.
Professor!
Now is no time to shave.
You drag him away out of the room, and eventually he sort of shakes off this idea that he should take a bath, and it would be okay if he opened up his veins.
Where have my clothes gone? What are you all doing to me?
I am going to attempt to assist the elephant guy It's been a little while.
Zephyros.
It's only been a week.
Yeah.
Zephyros.
Yeah.
Yes, in knowledge.
But it was 3 weeks before that.
That's
so.
true. There you go.
Can I aid these guys even though I just lost my ship?
Yes, you'll get a +4 if you aid.
I will aid. I have a 20 on the roll, so
Okay.
plus 10 on the skill already. So.
+6. Manny and you were just standing there going, "What? Let's not go near that
He
bathtub."
does smell.
Okay, so I'm getting +6 from everybody.
Yep.
So I have +9 regularly. That becomes +15. 30.
Not bad.
Sometimes things so horrific happen that they leave imprints upon the world. This isn't quite a ghost, although you're perhaps lucky that it did not become a ghost. This is a haunt. It's like an impression with a tiny, tiny figment of her soul that remains behind, that will repeat the events of that horrible impression as a warning, but also as a horrible place to be for the living. You may have to get some sort of priest to exorcise the haunt. If that place is avoided, you'll likely not have to worry about it.
If we have guests,
We can have them take a bath in there.
do we know?
Then we won't have guests. It'll be so nice.
We don't like guests. That's true. Do we know if it's tied to just the tub?
You guys are able to detect undead, maybe? Given that you now know, like, haunts are undead.
Do we know if the haunt is tied to the bathtub? Or to the room? Or
We've seen it come out.
like we couldn't just move the tub she killed herself?
No, these things are like this. One of the wonders of this manor is that it has indoor plumbing. Effectively, this would be a permanent fixture.
Let's look around for anything interesting in here, though, too.
Yes.
You don't sense her presence in the wine storage. You don't sense her presence in the pantry, and with your psychometry skill and people watching over your shoulder, you are able to determine that, just don't go into that nook with the bathroom or the bath, and you'll be okay. There's even a curtain that you guys could put up to keep it out of view.
Right.
We'll just hide this horrible thing.
Yes.
Are any of her personal effects in here interesting? Or rather, have they already been looted?
It looks like somebody has braved this place already, but you do find, which is spiritually significant to the haunt, is the shaving razor that belonged to Morphelio Malavella. It's got the Malavellan sign on it, similar to the amulet and similar to the ring. And the shaving razor actually allows you access to the front door as well.
I'll be damned. How interesting.
However, you know the shaving razor is connected to this haunt, and you're suspicious about bringing the shaving razor anywhere near this this bathing nook.
Yeah, let's keep it separate somehow.
Yes.
For eating?
Is there a drawer we can lock it in?
I don't have any drawers, but I've got lots of room in my stomach for keeping.
Splendid. For keeping then.
Oh, who's gonna keep it? Put it on Mokrenom's sheet.
I wouldn't mind.
Oh. By all means.
Every now and then we might have need to offer a guest that is particularly troublesome the chance to have a nice relaxing shave.
Yes. I'm sure that would be quite interesting for them.
Are you editing the Mokrenom Gobbler's sheet, Matt?
I will go ahead and do that, yes.
Okay.
For keeping Mokrenom, I'll close it up and tie it just a bit so it doesn't cut him.
If there are any more tooth fairies, they have not returned. You see signs of them everywhere. They're there. They were a massive nuisance and a vermin to this place. But between Puddle, Ashwick, and the haunt of Lady Malavella, those are the only residents aside from you. Some of the special features of the manor include indoor plumbing, which takes a little bit of work to get going, but with your ints and craft skills, you're able to unclog a few things and plumbing begins to flow. This place also has heated tiles, which are connected to the indoor plumbing.
Hell yeah.
And then, of course, the acoustic grand stairs, which you begin to identify a little bit more. It actually has a slight magic worked into the acoustics of the grand stair area. And I need a perform check or a spellcraft check to figure out what the properties of the magical acoustic grand stairs are. You guys can aid each other on this too.
I've got a plus 13 spellcraft. Anybody else?
If you have 5 ranks in a perform check or 5 ranks in spellcraft, and you're also rolling the main roll, then you can get a synergy of +2 on your roll.
I got 14 spellcraft.
I've got a 13 spellcraft, 5 ranks, and 1 rank each and a couple of performs.
Okay, so you don't have enough
No.
performs.
I'll go ahead and aid the professor.
Okay.
Actually, no, I'm going to roll my own.
Sure.
I'm chaotic, motherfuckers.
I'll aid you. You use the room. You're a performer.
Okay.
I'll aid you as well.
Plus 2.
I got a nat 20.
I mean, you guys can't.
Fail aids at the moment, right? You've got
No.
plus 10
I
or better?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got plus 13.
Yes.
So yeah, that's unfailable.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's roll it. 35.
5. That's
Nice.
impressive.
Okay, the magical acoustic grand stair. Bard song effects affect all creatures within the stair. We know that from the combat.
Yeah.
Also, sonic spells that are cast in that area are +1 effective caster level.
Okay.
It's a few days of exploring and burying bodies and getting things. You're starting to get things a little bit clean. Go ahead and take all the effects off of your.
We start to go into this. I'm gonna start to prepare myself specifically for this to leverage as much magic for cleaning as possible.
Nice.
I am going to summon, the first day I'll only be able to summon, I can prepare second levels as first levels? I still won't do that. I'll summon though 20 or 18 simultaneous unseen servants, and then I'll probably pretty quickly copy that into my illusionist book so I can summon an additional 5.
Yeah, we were going to fast forward approximately 30 days worth of time.
Yes.
If you spend 8 hours cleaning and doing merchant stuff and renovating and setting things up, you still have about 4 hours in the evening of each day to copy spells, to scribe scrolls, to make magic items, and to brew potions. We'll say that 10 days it takes you to set up a lot of the facilities to do this. The only one that you may not have the facilities yet in the manor to do is craft magic arms and armor, because that usually requires a forge to do. But you have access to Zephyros' forge if you want to deal with the asshole goat guy. Zephyros' master has that arrangement. So, feel free to start scribing scrolls and moving spells around. We'll say that you've got 20 days times 8, so you've got about 80 hours worth of crafting you guys can do. If you want to keep track of that on the same sheet. I think most of you are crafters, or a lot of you are. So you can start picking away at that.
Which means we can start looking at which spells we want to share.
Correct.
Learn from each other and stuff like that.
Now I have an important question, and I'm going to go around the table, or at least ask the group. How are you deciding which rooms belong to whom? How are you? is it dibs, or do you want to draw straws as you're picking rooms? Are you going to negotiate this fact? I guess the choking vine ends up being mulch for the.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go to the room closest to the library, and if anybody else is already going there, I will talk to them about
Okay, well, there are 2 rooms close to the library. There's one with the a guest lounge and the woodland satyr motifs.
Was it at the dining room?
Oh, sorry, that's
No, the library's on the first floor.
spinnerweb spiders are in that bedroom, and then there's this bedroom with living quarters next to it.
Gonna go with that one that doesn't have a motif assigned.
Okay.
The spider-free rooms?
Yeah.
That doesn't seem crazy.
All right, so I'm going to change the label from bedroom to professor's bedroom. Okay.
Where, and I'll drag your token up to the bedroom.
Thanks, sir.
Okay, so apparently there's kind of a dibs going on. Oh, the red cap bodies, are they buried into the mass grave?
Fairy mass grave.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there's another Tooth Fairy. Tooth Fairy 13.
Oh, we're definitely keeping their caps.
I have their caps. I think.
Okay,
Nice. Okay.
Let me just check on my sheet.
Not that they're magical now, but they're nice base materials.
I'm pretty sure I have. Yeah, red hat taken from a red cap. I have one of their caps, so the other caps we have to take as well.
Yeah, go ahead and put. You've got 2.
Yeah, just make it 2 for now, and you can distribute them.
Okay.
All right. Where is Luudo setting up camp?
Luudo. Nobody minds. He would like to go into the guard barracks.
Ooh, are we across the hall neighbors?
Yeah!
The bedroom beside the guard barracks, or the actual
The
guard
one with
barracks?
4 in it.
Is he planning something that we should know?
Who wants the guard barracks? Okay.
Him and Manny, I feel like might.
I'm gonna push all the beds together.
Are you and Manny hanging out in there
Luudo's
together?
room.
Like, you gonna try and convince him that you guys should bunk up
Yeah,
together?
out of all these rooms, like, come on, man.
Yeah.
No.
I'm just gonna put a big gray patch over the floor because you basically moved the beds around.
Okay.
I think you probably, by default, get the guard room that accesses it too as your sort of antechamber.
The buffer.
Luudo also notices that the window for the guards room leads to the roof.
Ooh, nice, dude.
All right, so I'm gonna move
notice
Luudo's token up into Luudo's room. All right, cool. And then you could probably do something interesting with this big area here.
Yeah,
think about how you'd want to like maybe completely redesign that particular area. I think Manny's gonna take. Let's see.
Servants' quarters.
Manny needs some
Probably
space.
need a giant bed.
They're all giant beds.
The space next to Luudo?
Yeah, I think so. I think he wants his own.
It's the small room.
What?
Luudo just took out a room. 4 people were living in it, and he's a tiny halfling. And Manny is taking the room next to him that just has enough room for a bed, and he's like a giant
weird like that.
halfling.
He also grew up with halflings, so maybe
Yeah.
big open spaces fucking
He feels more at home. It's just how it
living
rolls.
room.
Okay, so that's
Manny's room. Manny will take that bedroom. He's got some space to deal with. You may want to do something different with the Emperor Nectarine Tree.
Yeah, I think you probably take that and take the garden adjacent room.
Zephyros, what bedroom are you taking?
Zephyros is a Tusker, so he has a bit of status. So he kind of feels entitled to a little bit more like the master suite with a master bath and the master closet and a little bit of the royal life.
I think.
Is this also Feroesae's target room?
No.
No, okay.
Yours
all
has got to
right.
be the one below.
No.
No?
Feroesae is going to take the servants' quarters. All of them.
Weird.
Because they overlook the garden.
Ooh.
They overlook the entryway, so it's the place that has pretty easy access to the Hall of Perfect Acoustics and the garden.
You could fly down to either side.
I'm small and I fly, and it's very difficult to get up here unless you're small and you fly, in which case it's easy.
That is very convenient. That's clever.
Okay, so I'm going to rename the Master Suite to the Tusker Suite. And move the big Zephyros up into the Tusker Suite. Oops! Did I grab the amulet? I guess we don't need the amulet as a token anymore. It's on your sheet.
No. Yeah. I don't even know if it is on my sheet. I don't think I put it on my sheet because I think we had it. I'll check. Because we had it as a token, I think I didn't put it on my sheet.
All right, so Feroesae moves into the servants' quarters, and I'm assuming you were just replacing all the beds with other things.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm gonna gray out.
Oh, yeah,
I'm gonna gray out the beds for now, as
It
you
is on my
got
sheet.
some major renovation going to the servants' quarters. That is so much style.
Yeah, that's a nice.
And it's a weird little nook, like it's off on its own. Like you have to go outside to go back in. It's all right. So there's Feroesae and Pixel. Pixel's like wondering, like, why did you take one of the big rooms?
This room is the one that we can get to easy, and everyone else it's very difficult. It's right above the sitting room. The sitting parlor in the entry hall, very near the hall of the grand stair, where I can sing, and we can fly right out into the garden whenever we like. Plus, we get the front balcony.
What about the Mokrenom gobbler? What do we do with him?
Pixel's happy with that. Her only stipulation is as long as you make it pretty. 7-inch fairy familiar. You can listen to her demands or not.
I think she might be at 8 now.
Is she at 8? Yep. All right, you've got two other oddballs. The Mokrenom gobbler. Are you asking him what he would like, or are you telling him where he should stay?
I don't think we know what he would like, do we? We don't know what he would like, right? So we're not in a position to.
I really like this closet. Lots of parts to mimic.
So do you have a conversation with Mokrenom gobbler, Zephyros?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. You bring him into your room.
Oh, this is your room now. Oh, this is the master's room. Does that mean that you're the master of this group?
I wouldn't say that, but at the same time I would. I am not their master, but I'm the only one here with a inherited title, unlike the professor who has studied an educational title.
Oh, yes, Tusker, yes. Oh.
He turns into a little an empty potted plant near the door, and that's when you're thinking, is he just gonna stay there, or?
Where do you want to stay, Mokrenom?
I'll stay right by the door here.
You sure? There's plenty of bedrooms and closets and spaces and pantries and wine storage where you can go.
Are you saying that Mokrenom Gobbler gets to pick a room for him to stay in?
If we all get to pick a room, it's only fair that you get to pick a room, don't you think?
Wherever I stay, I want lots of chests and bottles and buckets and pots and all sorts of containers, like at the half-hag's cave.
So perhaps you would like one of the offset rooms near the kitchen. There's a wine storage, there's a pantry, there's storage next to the stairs, maybe that one to the right to the old grand stair.
Perhaps the cloakroom near the entrance.
That can work too.
Oh, can you buy Mokrenom lots of containers?
Of course we can.
Such good friends.
And we'll call it Mokrenom's cloakroom. Which basically he wants full of things he can hide amongst.
Yeah. Feel at ease.
Barrels and boxes and cups and buckets.
We can find some of that around the house
Oh,
already,
sure,
right?
yeah. You guys can empty the house and then spend a little bit of money on the market, pretty much, to give Mokrenom what he needs. All right, what are you doing with tech?
Where would you like to sit? Where would you like to live?
You want me to make a den here?
Do you want to make a den here?
Does the queen want me to make a den here?
Jesus, dude. The queen doesn't care. What do you want? What makes you comfortable?
A den.
Yes. Then you should make a den. Where do you want to make your den?
Let's see.
You could take the downstairs bedroom where we first moved in.
Downstairs bedroom.
Yeah.
Over here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That gives him good access to the outside. Yes, I shall make a den there.
Delightful.
And Tech, unless you go and get him, spends a lot of time turning it into something that would make him comfy.
An anthill?
It's one of the few points of entry on the bottom floor.
It's kind of like he pushes furniture all the way to the corners of the room and makes almost like a cave out of furniture and drapes and leather scraps and bits of his victims and he,
Like a blanket castle almost?
yeah. So I'm going to. So the brown represents the furniture, and the gray will represent the open space. Of his area. Here, I'll.
Oh, he's pissed.
So he's got like material and kind of tarping and stuff that's pushed inside, and he fills a lot of it with dirt from outside, and
God.
it's very much like you're walking into. There are no sharp corners.
Nice.
He's got a sleeping pit.
Quite lovely what you've done with the place.
And basically he gets rid of the guest suite giant versus man motif. It's kind of destroyed by his construction.
That makes sense. He's got access to a little privy in the back too if he wants it.
He's one of the only rooms that has one.
He could store stuff there. It could be like a weird little storage nook for him.
Yeah, I think it'll be his little treasure chamber.
He
Yeah.
is the only one that has a privy in the room.
Zephyros has a master bath, but there's no privy in there.
Yeah.
Zephyros just prestidigitates it away.
Yes.
There's probably like a hole or something like that for you to go in. Texirac has got a privy, which is going to be gutted for probably corpse storage,
Meats.
or meats, or his treasure. So we're actually going to write. Let's see, how do I do this? There's a secret chamber, we'll say. It's text. Creepy little secret chamber.